Hi, I'm Dr.Jayshree Om, and welcome to my channel, which I have been active for a very long time, but never got a chance to really put up good content because the scriptures were too heavy on me. They kept me busy. So today we are here to discuss about our most favorite book, the Vasturemedies. Thank you so much for loving this book with so much devotion and reading it and putting up reviews, which really mean to me. I read every single review that comes on any of the platforms, either it's on my website or on the Amazon or Flipkart. I'm here to discuss about the book and why I wrote my journey. Why did I write this book? And a lot of other important stuff like who should read this book, because I know you guys have been purchasing the book, but a lot of them have not appreciated it because they think there are no remedies in this. So let me show how to see the remedies. By the way, this design of Ma and Shiva took my artist about 6 months to design. She is from London. It was really hard for her to come up to my expectation, but yeah, nonetheless it happened. And the Shiva looks amazing. The Ardhanareshwar looks beautiful. So let us discuss about the cover, derived from the Vedas and inspired by the Pancha Mahabhutas. So yeah, this scripture is actually derived from the Vedas, especially the Atharva Veda. It so happened that when my factory got shut down in 2010, I realized that every Vastu consultant was speaking a different story, and they blamed it on my karma that I wasn't good enough to have so much wealth, which I really felt funny then. And that is when the discovery of the real Vastu started. I used to think that, whatever any Vastu consultant says, that is the truth and that is how it works. And I used to follow a lot of people on YouTube as well. Funnily, I used to believe everything that was written on Google, everything that was written on YouTube, and my fear started to increase day by day. And this entire journey took me to Hyderabad, where I met one of my cousins, and he said, if you're so interested in Vastu, you must read the Vastu scriptures. And I was like zapped. I'm like, there are scriptures for Vastu? And he said, you don't know about it? I said, no, I never read it in history. I was never informed in any of my school curriculum. So how am I supposed to know that there are Vastu scriptures? And he immediately gave me Shiv Sir's number, and Shiv Sir was very kind enough to invite me to Indore, and I went to Indore. I was there with him for a week, and that is when he said that the only way to learn scriptures is to read them. Nobody can make you understand scriptures. I was like, no sir, I'm here to learn. He said, there's nothing for me to teach. He did teach me how to do Padvinyas, the calculator and the scales, but since I'm not an engineer student, I kind of did not follow it. And then I said, sir, where are the remedies? I have come here for the Vastu scriptures. Mein jo remedy hai, that I want those remedies. And then he said, there are no remedies. There are no remedies in the scriptures. I said, how can that be? He said, there's only one remedy clearly where Vishwakarmaji says that this is the remedy and use it, and that is Vastu Shanti Havan. And since I'm not from the Sanatan background, being a Jain, I had never performed any Havan. I said, how can it be? How can Havans improve the Vastu? And then when he said, he gave me all the scriptures. They were all in Hindi, Sanskrit, and he said, you got to read it and you got to understand them. And I was like, he actually threw a bomb on me. I'm like, sir, I don't know Hindi. I am from Bangalore and it is not possible for me to read these scriptures. And he said he has classes and he has to leave. And I was left with these scriptures. Trust me, I I just thought, I should run away, and why did I even come to Indore? Why did I even, approach sir? And I was very disappointed. And sir being sir, next day he called me. He said, okay, if you want to understand the scriptures, you got to read them. I said, okay, promise I will read. And then he handed over these Dikpal yantras to me. And he said, see, these are your remedies. I said, these are the remedies. I said, these are the yantras. I was like, I don't want the yantras. I want the remedies. And the Ashtadikpal are the first remedies that actually was given to me, and which took me almost 10 years to decode. That why are they remedies? Why are they called remedies? Funnily, I started to use the Dikpals and I started seeing difference in people's life. But I kind of did not trust the entire process, because I was like, these can't be the remedies, these are just the names of some deities. And that is when things got a little clear to me that, there are no remedies in the scriptures, and I have to search them. And if I bring out the remedies, I will be the queen of the Vastu scriptures. And that is how I started the scriptures. And funnily, that is when I started reading Vishwakarma Prakash. That was way too tough for me, but every time Manoj sir, the architect, he actually helped me with understanding the usage of the mantras and usage of these havans, and he said, okay, I'll help you. So tell me, where are you stuck? And I would send him one verse every day, and he would help me that, okay, see, this verse can be applied in this. So once I got a bit of understanding, still the practice was missing, and he was very, Manoj sir was very, very kind to give me a lot of projects. And that is where I started experimenting the verses, and people were also very kind enough, and they said, okay, if they are from the scriptures, let us try. And my first consultation happened in Nepal with Nikhil Chachan, and he has also put a review on Amazon and I think another platform. And slowly people started seeing differences in their factories and their outcome, and a lot of people approached from Nepal. It was like as though the entire Nepal wanted to have a Kalash placed. So initially, for first 2 years, I was working only with Kalash. And that is when, after reading Mansar, I kind of understood that every scripture has its own way of putting up these Kalash and these yantras and everything. And Mansar Maimat, these scriptures did not mention the Kalash, but they did mention about Manjushika, the casket that can be used, and Uppeet, other this Padvinyas that can be drawn on the building floor and the land. So slowly every verse started to kind of show how they work. The trust funnel with the scriptures improved, and I started seeing every verse in a very different manner. And that is when, after like reading these scriptures for 7 years, 7 good years, and especially during the COVID times, I had enough time to read the scriptures. And that is when actually it just wo light bulb jala. And I thought that agar main chali gayi, what if I don't outlive the COVID? What happens if I die? All the experience of my scriptures, all my Vastu sites, whatever case studies I have done, whatever results I have been able to bring out through the scriptures, will all be lost. that is when I speeded up my work of translation. 2018, I had submitted my translation to Swamiji, and he was very, very kind to grace me with his blessings. And he said that I have to walk on the path of truth, and if I do that, scriptures will reveal their secrets. So he was the one to give us our name of the first book, The Ancient Science of Vastus. He said that there is no science, there is no secret here, it is a science, and you have to bring out the science behind it and not run after any myths or do not create any fears. And after this personal meeting, we got the name for our first book that was released during the COVID times, and thankfully everybody liked it. There are people who said that who will read these books, why are even we had shelled out a lot of money back then, and we were also struggling. But I somehow had the faith that no, I have to get this out, because it took me so long to understand, almost 10 years, 2010 when I lost my factory to 2020. It took me so many years to actually understand how the Vastu system works, and I was very, very adamant on bringing out the first scripture, and thankfully people loved it. And on the day of Rakhi, I just tied Rakhi to Swamiji, and I did Mansik prayer, and I tied the Rakhi to him. And within I think 9 minutes, my husband called me and said, look, the book is a bestseller. And that is when I understood the power behind Swamiji, and I still have a lot of stories to share about Swamiji. I'll do that one of these days. And that is when book, the Vastu, Ancient Science of Vastu, Vishwakarma Prakash, became the bestseller. And then we got Manushya Chandrika out. Sri Raj Vallabh is very, very dear to my heart, because architect Mann, he was not a sage or anything. He was like us, one among us, wherein even he was reading these ancient scriptures, and he was like, trying to get the remedies from different scriptures, and he also compiled the book, like how I have done Vastu remedies. So that's why this Sri Raj Vallabh is very, very dear to me. And all the 3 books became bestsellers, and then I knew that, okay, it's time to bring out my case studies, because trust me, almost 90% of my cases have got amazing result, and it is not because of me, it is because of their faith in the scriptures. So have faith in scriptures and read them. Don't read Vastu remedies because it's something written by me. It is not written by me. It is work of my guru who blessed me when I went to ashram. He said that, Jayshree, you got to, if you can read this, he said that, dear Jayshree, may you continue to spread your wisdom, love and blessing, Swami. So I got full confidence that, yeah, Swamiji is with me. And I started writing down these chapters, and suddenly I would go blank, which I still do. I suddenly go blank, and while going blank, I would pray to Swamiji, like, Swamiji, ab mujhse nahi ho raha. I really can't understand this. And I would sleep over it. I would pray to him, sleep, and morning, 5 o'clock, dot 5 o'clock, I would have my answers. I would write down the chapter within 2 hours. And by 9 o'clock, I would be free, and that chapter would end. And during the day, I would forget everything, because it was not written by me. It was written by the grace of my guru. And this book finally happened. It took us almost 2 years to write this. I took 1 year to write it down. Then I had to run behind Manoj sir to get these architecture plans to that perfection. And then my editors, 3 of them, they almost took 1 year to edit the book. And then finally this book happened. And I was just going through the books that I have referred. I have referred about 27 books, doing this before writing down this book. And I have quoted from all these scriptures. If you see, I have a quote from almost all of them, and that is why this book is so dear to me. And I don't think I have given my 100% to this book, but I have tried my level best. So after the fame of this book happened in Hindi, and we never expected that India would support me so much. And this book in Hindi has been selling like hotcakes. And trust me, it's time that I reveal this book, why I wrote, how I wrote, and when, everything about this book. So let's continue the journey. Stay tuned, follow me, like me, and share it so that we can work around the ancient scriptures together and have more learnings together.